Hello, hello, what's up, YouTube? Hope everyone is doing well. Good morning. It is Wednesday, April 5th. Wow. I still kind of feel like shit, to be honest. I'm sick. Yesterday, like, barely traded. Pretty much the same as if I wouldn't have traded anyways. So today, maybe more of the same, but a few things that I do want to talk about today. There's still the hopes of a soft landing in the world, and we could have easily seen at the bottom, probably for the year. I'm pretty much expecting that, but is a recession in the cards for the coming quarters, right? This is still a main topic of conversation. A lot of people are getting very bulled up, but I think the chances of seeing S&P 4200, 4300 before we see below 3900, even 3800 is much, much higher at this point. So Cleveland Federal Reserve Bank President Loretta Mester is sticking with the expectations that rates topping 5% to curb inflation, even after recent bank instability. In my modal projection, the put inflation on a substantiated downward projection of 2% and to keep inflation expectations anchored, monetary policy moves somewhat further into restrictive territory this year, with the Fed's funds rate moving above 5% and the real Fed's funds rate staying in the positive territory for some time. So, this is what Mester said: precisely how much tighter the federal funds rate will need to be from here and how long the policy will need to be to remain restrictive will depend on how much inflation and inflation expectations are moving down. So, this was reiterated. Even though the view of a soft landing is still possible, there needs to be more data for that and continued data. Realistically, what's going on right now, there isn't that much equity flow coming in from big positioning into a lot of these equities ETFs, right? They're not getting bought up that aggressively. So, whatever rallies you're seeing right here on the larger scale is from weaker volume. Now, the bid in the futures has been much bigger than the offer over the past few sessions, over the past few weeks. So, you can't ignore that regardless if you think that all these layoffs, all these yields, bond price, whatever the macro case for the bear might be, the reality of the situation is right now we're seeing a lot more bull, and we should stay on that bull side until there's real selling involved, right? Or you can just start loading the boat when there's real buying involved. Right now, we're in a weird limbo state where the soft landing is a huge possibility, and realistically, having seen lows on the year is a big possibility as well. So, that's one of the main things that I did want to talk about, right? Right now, the current S&P 500, if we take a look at that, just the SPX, right? The SPX lows were just under 3,500 from last year, right? This year, I don't think we really penetrate those lows. This year's lows realistically were in that 37, like 60 area on the SPX. Right now, we're trading at 4,100. I think there is that case for the soft landing for us to rotate in and around that 200-day average and a lot of these dips being bought. I think there is a higher probability to see a next leg up, right? And the risk is worth it. I think the risk to the downside might be maybe capped at 10% from where we sit, right? So if prices do manage to drop off 10% from where we sit, I think the max extended move is going to be around 3,700 for us before we start seeing a little more of that upside. Keeping in mind, right? Markets are now only about 15% off highs, meaning that if we rally, of course, if there are big ifs, but if we rally another like 20 odd 17%, we will see a new all-time high in the market. Now, I don't necessarily think it's like go, go, go buy time. I think that we are moving into that territory and we're about to flip a bearish regime very, very soon. So I think that investment choices for dip buying are going to be a higher probability than looking for the bear case realistically. Even if it is a recessionary case, I don't think that the pull down on the recession is going to be that drastic overall. I doubt it. It's going to be like a 30, 20, even 20% drop overall. So, um, overall today, I'll take a look at what plan I'm looking at on the S&P 500 futures. Bum, 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 bum. I am leaning a little more bearish. I think that we need to see prices a little lower for the dip buyers to come in with a stronger bid. The bid failed at 41.70. That's a huge level. It has been for quite some time. And the offer kind of took over. Now we'll see if the bid comes in today or if the bid comes in into the end of the week. But I think generally we're going to see a little more reoffer into the end of this week. It's a shorter week. We'll see what happens with the NFP. That's going to move markets right before they close early for the weekend. So today I'm going to be watching 41.32 on the S&P 500 futures. 41.32 is a huge area. As if we manage to move above that, I could be a little more bullish realistically, but as it stands, 41.15 is a huge line in the sand for the bulls to hold out. Down below, close to 4100, that's an area where I'm going to try to ping some longs, see if that could be a bottom, and then below that, 40.88. Those are the areas I'm going to be watching. So as of now, I am staying a little more bearish until we see the 4100 area. We'll see what happens at 41.15, but I don't plan on trading too much or much size today. As you can tell, my voice is destroyed. So yeah, no pizza or beer might just destroy my throat. But I am leaning a little more bearish because we have things like IWM that's presenting some bearish movement, right? It was a big red day yesterday. It's close to lows. Uh, Breath kind of dropped off. I was expecting breath to continue to climb a little more. I don't think that's out of the woods just yet. But like I said, a little touch to the short side, and we'll see what happens today. So thank you guys. Remember, check out, we're going to go live in our futures room, trading live with you guys. You check that out. You can check out community.tradeproacademy.com, where we post ideas on a daily basis and throughout the day. And I hope to see you guys there. And next week, when I'll be back in full force, I hope to see everyone there. So thank you all. Shorter week tomorrow. We're going to wrap up the week, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Thank you and take care.